Sadio looked good in training, to be honest. The last 2 days trained completely normal. So if nothing happens, he is in contention. I learned that word a second ago, actually. And yeah, that's good. We have to see. Nabi will not be available in Hendo, not as well. So Nabi's in a good way already again. It's that he's outside running and all that stuff. So we have to see. We take it now day by day. Don't know. We cannot put any pressure in that. So we have to see when he's fully fit. Should not be that long anymore, hopefully. And Hendo got a little hamstring injury in the game, and so how I understood, not too serious, but serious enough that he's not available tomorrow and not at the weekend, and then from that day on, we will count the other days as well. Hopefully, Arsenal or so, he could be back, but for the next two, not available.
You've taken 23 points, as we know, from 9 Premier League games. You've taken 3 points from 2 Champions League games so far this season. Yet we still hear the discussion.
It makes it 26.
Exactly. We still hear the discussion that Liverpool haven't reached top form. So, what more do you believe there is to come from your side?
No, it's not that. I understand that 100%. Maybe it's because of one or the other post-match interview of myself that I said things like that. But to be honest, the first job what we have to do is to win football games, and we played really good stuff so already this season. We all compare it always with the best games from the last year because nobody remembers the average games. It's not that you compare a good game with an average game from last year and you say, oh, that was better. You compare the very best game with the games now. For us, the most important thing is always to win football games, and all the games we won so far, we deserve to win. That's how it is. And in the 2 draws we had in the Premier League, we deserved a point. So, and the game we lost against Napoli, we deserved to lose. So that's how it is, and that's what we have to make sure for the future as well, for the future tomorrow and for all the others. We have to perform, and we have to fight, and we have to do the right things in the right moment. It's not about showing that we can do things similar than we did it in the last year when you didn't know before the game that it will happen today like this. It's about feeling right, feeling confident. It's about game development. It's about a good start, like you score early and then you can use some different space, stuff like that. So far we had, I think, to fight in each game until the last minute. Right, so that's not a problem. So yes, we can do. Of course, how all teams in the Premier League probably can do a lot of things better than we did so far. But I said a few times as well, the basis we created is a really good one, football-wise and point-wise. And now we have to build on that every day, week in, week out. And that's what we try. And we will try that tomorrow again.
I'm just going to pause 1 second, Vinny. Whoever's that light is, can we turn that off, please, if possible? The flashing light is affecting the television pictures. Is there photographers in the room? If not, can we turn it? Do you know how to turn that off?
It's not.
It's not ours. You got it?
Throw it off.
Yeah. Thank you very much. There we go. Sorry. And final question from Vinny.
How satisfying is it then, that extra solidity that you have this season and that reliance that you have, that I suppose the confidence that you have now on your side that it can go out and grind out a result when perhaps not hitting?
No, that's good. That's the basis for all successful football teams. That's how it is. It should not be easy to score against us. It was never, even when we conceded more. We had this discussion last year. There was only the percentage of shots on target and in target was much more negative than it is now. We don't concede a lot of shots on target, and that's defending actually. And then if the ball goes through, you have a goalkeeper. But what helps, of course. And we had these situations as well where we needed Ali. Really, and that's good. On the other hand side, it's like last year, I think we spoke a lot about free, fluent football and this, and I never had the feeling it's for granted, so it will happen next day again. So it's exactly the same with our defending solidity, that we don't think it's it will happen again. It's hard work. We have really to work for it. And what I liked was after the last game, I was not the only one who felt a bit kind of average. We won the game. It's pretty strange. It was influenced in my case extremely by the three big counter-attacks we had, and we didn't finish off one. So we lost the ball in the wrong moment. That's why the game was so hectic. If we finish it one of them, then it's done. But we didn't do, and then they had this half chance. That's why I felt not really good after the game. But for the boys as well, they want to do differently. They want to be more in charge in a game like this. That it's difficult to play against a team like Huddersfield that well organized, and so that will be tomorrow difficult, really difficult. And there it's another quality in Huddersfield. Belgrade is the team of Serbia. So very experienced, good footballing, used to dominant football in Serbia, and made life really complicated for Naples and for PSG, even if the result against PSG doesn't sound like that. So. And that's it, that you are really ready for these problems and sort it. They have the ball, defend with whatever you have, we have the ball, attack with whatever we have, and protect for the moment when we lose the ball. So these are if you want, the three big jobs to do. And so far, so good, not more. But if it would be easy to get 23 points after 9 match days, then a lot more teams in the Premier League, nearly 5 teams have a similar situation, 4 I think, where they won game after game after game. So that shows the quality of these teams, but they all had to fight really hard. So of course yesterday night the game against Leicester, 3-1, the last 20-30 minutes Arsenal was completely in charge of that game, but before that it was an open game. So that's how it is. So for us, that means for us, make yourself ready for all the challenges ahead, and face them, sort them, and win the football games.
Andy?
You've got a great defensive record in the Premier League, Jurgen, but you've conceded 13 in the last 8 European games. Is it a concern for you?
Really? So I didn't know, so it cannot be a concern. Obviously. Oh yes, so we conceded a lot against City, a lot against Rome. That's already pretty much, and then Naples won. That's it. Before that, as in this competition, as long as you go through, and in the final we conceded as well goals. That's it. As long as you go through, that's okay. But it's not about. It's not the difference is not in the. These games were really special. The Rome game was special. The Man City game was special, and we don't have to talk about the final. If the opponents score goals like they did in the final with the bicycle kick and stuff like that, then it's quite difficult. No, we can work on that. How we worked on all of that, but not especially for the Champions League, for that competition. It's not about the competition. That was about the specific character of these games. And actually, apart from the goals in the final, I don't want to miss one of these goals we scored or conceded, because it made these at least 4 games pretty spectacular, and that's part of the game as well. So that's all okay. But of course, we don't want to concede goals, how you can imagine, and against being completely having or keeping a clean sheet against PSG would be a proper challenge for all football teams in the world. So I don't care about these 2 goals. That's it. No, it's a general thing, not a Champions League thing.
One more, Mandy?
Do you feel that you clearly feel that you can go on to another level, and the fans really enjoyed seeing that free-flowing football that they saw last season? Is it pleasing when you do feel you can go to another level and it's only October?
First of all, we have to prove that. We know it, we feel it, probably everybody knows it, but then we have to show it, that's how it is. I cannot sit here and say like this and it will click. So yes, it's not. I don't have the feeling of being pleased or whatever. It's really that I think so far so good, nothing else. So imagine we had a normal start in the season with 18 points. Then you are already 5 behind, and it would be still a good start. But so you have now 23 points, and you're only 2 ahead, and level with another team and stuff like that. So it's just difficult. So we don't have to look on the table. We don't have to look at anything. We have to look on the next opponent. And the next opponent in this case now is Belgrade. That's why we only actually should talk about them and not about the Premier League. And then after that we can talk about the Premier League again. But that's just yeah, it looks like it will be a very interesting season, and that's good news, I would say, for all the supporters. So let's see, and that we can stay in that race, and that would be really cool. And then we'll see what happens.
Okay, I'm going to go around the room if you want to catch my eye. If you've got a question to ask, I will go to Phil. I will come to you, sir, before we finish. If you've got something, Phil from Press Association, do you have anything? No? David, anything from you? I'll tell you what, we'll go to our visitor if you've got a question for Jurgen or a couple, yeah? Sorry?
Hi. You said that West Ham complicated life for Napoli and PSG. How PSG they take 6 goals.
Yeah.
What is the way that West Ham complicate the life to rivals?
Oh, it's not too difficult. It's in football possible. Everybody knows it. That it's to defend compact helps a lot. As for Belgrade, for sure, the challenge is a little bit that they are that dominating side in Serbia. So winning 80-90% of their games, pretty much. And Champions League is then different because they play against other top teams in Europe, and that makes it different. But I really think they did well. They did well against Napoli. They had to defend. Yes, Napoli had more shots on target, everything more, but they did well. And against Paris, if they open the box of Pandora, then it's open. So then it's if Neymar starts scoring from 35 yards free kicks and stuff like that, then it's nobody can defend that. So it's all about. I know that they are able to defend and that they are able to create as well. The strengths have different possibilities to line up, different strikers to line up, tall, quick, good footballers, good headers. Fullbacks are really laggy, they're really on their bikes, quick, very offensive orientated, so clear structure and all that stuff. So that's what they can do offensively and defensively. Serbian teams are always good organized. So they're always like this. They know to defend. They are not bothered to be a bit more aggressive and stuff like that. That's how it is. And so we need to be ready for a really hard fight. We need to fight for each little square meter of space or whatever with all we have. And for that we need our crowd. So that's very, very important. We learned last year, not only, but we learned last year especially that atmosphere can make the difference, and that's what we have to make sure again. And so it's a hard group, really hard group for all teams, and we have to make sure that we make the next step against really a really good side. And I saw the game against Salzburg when they qualified, and I saw how they celebrated that. Yes, it was. Maybe after the score line of 2-0, it was a bit of a surprise, but it looked like Salzburg were through, and then they fought back, and they used their chances immediately, had 5-10 fantastic minutes, and changed the whole game. And when you saw them celebrating, then you know they will fight with all they have for getting points or even winning at Anfield. Well, that's it.
One more, and then...
Do you remember the last generation of Red Star and the players in Champions Cup? It was against Bayern 91.
I know a few. Brosinecki was in that team.
Do you remember that game when they win it to Bayern?
When was it? 90?
91.
So I was then 23, and it obviously something better to do than watching a Champions League. I saw it 100%, but I saw since then a few games. But it was an outstanding team, yeah, and it was a good team.
Okay. Last two questions, David. I'll come to you last, Rachel.
From the Serbian president arrived a bit earlier. How much do you know about the Red Star team? And you know that Marko Marin, one of the most experienced players of Red Star, didn't travel. He won't be in the plane. So how does that reflect now, maybe on your tactics?
that Marco is not involved. I know Marco. I know. I heard about it. But I know him since he was at Frankfurt. I lived in Frankfurt when Marco came through the academy of Eintracht Frankfurt, so he was an outstanding player, so I follow his career since then. Yes. Is he injured or why is he not playing?
He's injured. He missed the last 2 games in the cup and in the league, so he has some injury.
Yeah.
Yes.
Giving away the
No. That's a tactic. Leaving Marco Marin out, that's an interesting tactic. So what do I know? So it's like we saw 3 games. We had focus was mainly on the 2 Champions League games because that's and the Partizan game, to be honest, against in Belgrade. So. And I know that I have no clue which lineup they will choose because I have the opportunity. They change the last 4 as often as possible, stay the same. I would say goalie, 3 midfield, and then up front they have opportunities obviously and use them. So whatever they want to do, I don't know in the moment. How could I know? So and that's makes it always interesting, of course. But for whoever they line up, they are a top team in Serbia, and that brings them in with confidence. So that's how it is. They are used to win football games. That's how it is. And we have to make sure that they cannot come in that mood. So that's it. But on the other hand side, and that's why I say it was quite impressive against Paris and Napoli, how they defended them, because that's pretty rare for a usually very dominating team that you can then switch like this and defend like that. And they did it. And then it's a bit more about counterattacks and stuff like that, but they were ready for that. You can see that they lived their big dream, that they really wanted to. I don't know, when was it last time that Belgrade was in the Champions League?
I think the last one was in 91st.
Really? So that's long. That's long. So and then now this generation came through, and in a very exciting game from actually a situation 2-0 down at Salzburg. They played really well that day, Salzburg. So it was, and then they came through, and that's this kind of miracle. And now they want to extend it. That's how I would try to motivate my boys if it's about that. So, and I'm pretty sure they will do it the same way, and that makes it dangerous. But on the other hand side, whoever would come tomorrow night, it's a home game at Anfield, and we want to win it. We are not sure if we can, but we will try everything what we're doing. It's not the nicest thing to do to play against us, to be honest. It's not that it feels like holiday. It's exactly what we have to make sure again, and make a proper fight of it, because Belgrade will fight 100%. And we have around about 30 hours time to prepare that, and that's what we will do.
Final question, David.
No, when I was a player, I played in empty stadiums, and they were not banned. They only were not interested in the football we play. Yeah. So no, a stadium full of only one crowd. I never experienced. But I would say, because the support here is in England is different, especially in Anfield is different. We don't sing against another crowd. It's not they say that and we say that. It's a little bit like that, but it's more you follow the game and you support your team, and if you have a bigger number in, cool. And that's of course not nice for the people from Belgrade, but we have no influence on that. So we would have had no problem if Belgrade fans would have been here. We still would have had a fantastic atmosphere. But that's all about that we are really tomorrow really together. It will be because we have the same. It's not that we are now the most experienced team in Champions League only because we came last year to the final. We are still pretty fresh in comparison to a lot of other teams in that competition, and we have to make sure that this one advantage what we can have in our home games, our crowd is there 100%. That's it, and that's what we should make sure. I'm pretty sure we are ready, but only a little reminder for all of you on your toes. And then it will be difficult for Belgrade, and that's the first job to do, to make it difficult and uncomfortable for the opponent.
Thank you.